What's going on, guys? One, love out to everybody. We got Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series Week 7 prediction breakdown here, guys. 5 fights as usual. Before I get started, hit that thumbs up button. Always hit the thumbs up button, man, so these videos can get out. Also, subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment down below too. That will help with the algorithm also. And don't forget to check out my Patreon account for all my face-off prediction and prop plays. And you can also donate to my PayPal account with all the links will be down below. Alright, guys, I'm going to flash through this real quick on the 5 fights. I'm going to spend too long on this. I'm going to be working on the UFC that's coming up in 5 days here. I'm going to be over there in Paris, France. 14 fights in this card. I mean, I love this card. I love every card, man. I mean, the guys, like I said, make weight. You know, they put the work in. Hey, man, it's all good. You know, sometimes, like I said, you never want to judge a book by the cover because until you break down the fights and you know the caliber of the guys. Because a lot of times you may not know the caliber of these guys and you may not know the matchup, and once you see the matchups are very good, we make for a good fight. So it's not because you don't know the fighter so much. It's like not a good card. It's not like a it's not like a pay-per-view or nothing like that. And most of the times are these these fight nights cards here. It's really what's sometimes the better cards, to be honest with you, right? So we're gonna go through this real quick here, guys. Knock this out. The Contender Series action. First fight, we got Rose Conceição versus Alexia Thainara. I know I mispronounced that. Rose here short notice, and let me see here. Kevin Vallejos and Cam is also a short notice too, right? First fight here, we got Rose. Rose, not much footage on her. It's kind of difficult to find footage on this girl. Like I said, most of these fighters in Contender Series are trying to make their way to the UFC, and a lot of times it's not a lot of footages, right? A lot of times the matchups are not that great. They fight people who are like 0-1, 0-0. People call them cans. It is what it is. But it's kind of hard to even judge them like that because we saw fights with guys who fight cans 0-0-0-0 and come in here and get the win, and there are underdogs, massive underdogs, right? But Rose here, from what I see, she would throw her hands. We look for takedowns. She also has some submission on her too, but this one is a kind of a tough read on this one, coming out of the Pitbull Brothers camp, which is a good camp there. That's probably the only thing here that I can really say, but skill-wise, what I see, like from the fights, like I said, it's not much footages, right? So it's just one of those things, man. But from what I see from her, though, she can get taken down. I mean, that's pretty much it. Her striking doesn't look too bad. Her opponent, her Alexia. Alexia is very aggressive. A lot of forward pressure from her. Very athletic. We'll also look for takedowns and also look for submissions. Look, she has more of a wrestling base on her, and she will look for the submission. Can sometimes rather her chin kind of high up, and kind of run into punches. So Rose could be the better striker here, but I don't know, man. From what I see from Alexia, she did fight Bruna Brazil, which she was winning that fight until she got caught with a guillotine choke. So, I mean, and Bruna Brazil is in the UFC right now, and she's not doing too bad at the moment. This is a tough one here, guys. And when I say about women fights can go either way, man. You pick one side and the other side win. You pick the other side and the other side win. So it's like one of those things where it's not confident pick here. I'm going to go with Alexia. I'm going to say Alexia by submission in the second round, 50-50. And like I said, with women fights, sometimes and the guys fight too, like I said, it's not definite, nothing guaranteed. And, look at the odds there. We got Rose out at -145. You see that? And Alexia is +114. So Alexia is the underdog here. Like I said, man, most of the time with the women fights, it's usually the underdogs that are coming in when it comes to the women fight. So be careful with this one. I'm not confident. 50-50. Alexia submission second round, guys. All right. Next fight we got Kevin Vallejos versus Cam Tejin. I think that's how you pronounce that. Kevin here, guys. Second time in Contender Series, man. If you remember this guy here, he was fighting Gene Silva, or the Fighting Nerds. Put up a good match. Kevin is a pretty good fighter, man. Very durable, a lot of power coming forward, looks to counter. Very skilled guy, will also go for the ground. He will walk you down, he's durable. I mean, this guy has a dog, man. This guy is a pretty good fighter. And you can see with Gene Silva is a guy that finishes people, and he actually go to decision. Kevin won the first round, but Gene had the rest of the fight. And like I said, it was a good match between him and Gene. And like I said, Gene is doing real good in the UFC right now. You know, be finishing all his fights. This is probably, I think, out of the fights that he lost, all his fights were finishes. And Kevin was the only fight that he went to decision. So that tells you something, right? Yeah, man, Cam is a very, very, very good fighter, man. And like I said, Cam is taking this on a short notice. What I see from Cam, he's going to have a 5-inch of height, though. Like I noticed that the reach doesn't really say, but he could have a 6-inch reach. So this guy is pretty tall with a long reach. He also beat, if you guys remember, Austin Lingo used to be in the UFC at one time. So yeah, he actually beat Austin Lingo by knee. You know, so that's a good win for him there, fighting a guy and that wasn't a UFC and beat him, right? He strikes, he kind of flows with it, kind of loopy. Man, he's very aggressive coming forward too. But the thing about him is that his chin is high up and he's loopy. And when he throws combinations, he kind of leans into it, and his chin is there to get hit, man. It's very hittable. And I could see Kevin, you know, catching him with a counter coming forward, right? And like I said, the reasons for that, because his jab is good. You know, he jabs and kind of stay on the outside because he has the reach, you know, and he brings it back quick. And even the straight on the pocket, he brings it back quick. But when he throws his combos, he leans into it coming forward, and that's when he can get countered. So I got Kevin in this one. And like I said, Cam, you know, he doesn't look too bad. You know, yeah, he has heavy leg kicks and so forth, but he can get countered though, man. And like I said, it's a short notice for him. And like I see from Kevin here is a pretty good prospect, man. I mean, this guy, I believe he was a favorite against Gene, but like I said, he beat Gene the first round. It was looking good, but Gene, you know, they got good fighting camp there, the fighting nerds, and you know, and Gene, you know, picked up the fight in second, third, and was putting a beating on Kevin. You know what I'm saying? So. But like I said, Kevin is a skilled guy though. So I'm going to go Kevin. I'm going to say Kevin by KO TKO, guys, in the first round. And I give Kevin like 60%, and I give Cam 40. And like I said, with most of the guys that made the Contender Series for the second time, most of the time they win the fight on this second time. Alright, so Kevin should win this fight, guys, okay? Next fight here, we got Francesco Mazzeo versus Kevin Christian. Francisco, you're very explosive guy, man. Pack a lot of power coming forward. First round finisher. There's a second round here where there's a disqualification, you know, by a legal knee. The guy kneed him pretty good, man. Kind of cut him under the eye too. So it was one of those knees that gave him a cut under his eye. He said he couldn't see, but it is what it is. It was a legal knee. So, but he got the win for that. But in that fight though, most of all his fights are in the first round. Even as amateur, he was starting to gas out, and he was gassing out almost in the first round too, because his opponent, Angus Hewitt, was putting a lot of pressure on him, and he had to fight his way through, you know. But the guy throws heavy. He pack a lot of power. It looks like he wrestles too. It looks like he has a wrestling base on him. But like I said, he will gas though, you know, and from what I see, he was gassing out in that second round, man. He was already gassing out in the first. So he needs to control his gas tank there. Kind of pace himself a little better. He can get reckless with the shots too. Once he, you know, start to get wild, you know, once he start to swing wild, that is when he gets gassed. But when he compose himself, keep it tight, you know, he does a little better. But once he start to swing wild, he's, you know, because then he's missing. Right, when you miss, you know, the most chance of you gassing out is when you start to miss a lot of hook punches. Anything you're missing with shots, you're just pretty much gassing yourself up because you're not connecting to anything, right? His opponent though, Kevin is a tall dude, man. Kevin is gonna have a 5-inch of height. I'm not sure about the reach though. The reach, well, actually his reach is 80. But Francisco doesn't have Francisco's reach. But I don't think Francisco has an 80-inch reach. Has an 80-inch reach on him. So his height is 6'2". This guy here is like 6'7". So I would say maybe Kevin may have Kevin may have like a 5-inch reach over him. So it's 5-inch height, 5-inch reach by Kevin, which is massive. This guy is also a BJJ black belt too. Both these guys are all 100% finishing rate, man. But with this guy here, man, you know, when you look at the records, like I said, a lot of these guys here, man, it's NA. It's like it doesn't have, you know, it's like zero. It's like they're not really fighting nobody. But he has an 18-5 here. But then, look, his last fight was recent, 2024 in January, right? But before then, 2019. So before the 2024, his last fight was 2019, dude. And he only had 2 fights in 2019, 1 fight in 2018. So this guy is not active. Even though he has a 2024, yeah, he's active there, but hasn't fought in such a long time, you know. And Francisco, you know, he's more active, you know what I'm saying? 2024, you know, a lot of fights, a lot of cancer fights, I should say. 2023, 2021. So this what I see from Kevin though, man, he can strike, he fired a jab, you know, he can get wild at times, so, and he will also gas out in the first round also. But what I see from him though is that he will look to grapple, right? And he will, like I said, he's a BJJ black belt, and he will look for the submissions on you, right? But what I notice is that his chin, man, is so up in the air, and he's hittable. He's hittable, dude. And when he connects, he goes down. When he connects, he goes down, man. And also, he has like a chin issue. He's gonna have the more experience in a kind of sense of as far as like fights, you know. And even going by like the people he fight, they got better records, and he's just more experienced. But this is a guy that can get knocked out. And like I said, in the fight, I see him get knocked down too in like one of his fights, right? So, but then he will recover if he can. But I don't know about this fight here, guys, man. I don't know, man. This guy is just so unactive. The guy's not active. You know, he doesn't fight too much, except for that 2024, you know, and then before then it was 2019. For the odds here, they got Francisco at plus 124, and they got Kevin at 160. And it's hard to find fights in Kevin. I find one fight, and the other ones were like some way back in like 2016 or something like that. His recent fight was against, obviously, 2024 against Miguel Porto, which that's the one I saw. But again, he looks okay. You know, he's got the height and reach, but that's the chin, man. I feel like this is a guy like Francisco, you know, he freaking hits heavy, man. And I feel Francisco is a heavier hitter here, man, and more explosive. But I feel like Kevin is more of a rounded, but the BJJ black belt. I don't know, dude, man. I'm gonna slide with Francisco here a little bit here, guys. I feel Francisco could get this fight. I'm not confident, obviously, and again, Francisco's an underdog here. But like I said, Kevin is just not consistent. He's not active, and his chin, dude. I mean, if Francisco was getting submitted in his fights, then I would say okay. But Kevin been knocked out one time, and then Kevin also been submitted also, and also Kevin been knocked down. You know what I'm saying? Got caught. His chin is up. When he punches, he leaves his chin out there. Even though he got the reach, but Francisco closes distance quick. So I'm liking Francisco. I must say Francisco by TKO, guys, in the first round, and zero confidence. This fight here is an even fight. From we see from the odds here, this is off, totally off. This is even fight, man. Even fight, because Kevin not consistent. He's not active, and I feel Francisco's a more active guy. Pack power, close the distance quick. Kevin is hittable. Hell no, he can go either way. So this is even. Kevin, I didn't give it the odds on this one. Kevin and Cam, 345, yeah. I mean, I feel Kevin should win this fight. The second time in Contender Series, and the guy's a good prospect. All right. Next fight here, guys. We have. Oh yeah, I say Francisco by KO TKO first round, guys. All right. Next fight here, we got Daniel Frunzo versus Vadym Kutsyi or something like that. It sounds Japanese, right? I don't think it is though. Daniel here. This guy's a dog, man. He will come forward. He will apply the pressure on you. A lot of forward pressure. He will look to knock you out. He looks to take your head off, man. That's pretty much it. This guy pack power. He can get taken down though, but he scrambles up and he will just come forward on you, man. He can get submitted also. Been submitted twice by the same rear naked choke, right? But this guy here, he comes forward. I believe he's 100% finishing rate. I could be wrong about that. You're gonna see a lot of finishes on this card here, guys. I believe all my things are all finishes. A lot of these guys are gonna bring it. I would say all the guys are gonna bring it. I mean, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's 1 by decision, but 7 by knockout. So this guy's a dog. He bites down and come forward, man. What I see from Vadym, Vadym is pretty good, man. He's a pretty good prospect. 17-1. The guy is skilled, man. The guy is skilled. He sees the punches coming. His takedown defense, his wrestling is good. He's, I believe, from Belarus. I think that's where Andrei Arlovsky is from. Yeah, from Belarus. So Vadym here, very experienced. He actually beats Islam Nardev, which you guys remember. Islam Nardev used to be in UFC, right? You guys remember that way back. He actually knocked him out in the first round, actually, which is a pretty good win for him, man. You know, fighting a UFC vet, you know what I mean, and then knocked him out in the first round. Let me see here. That's probably why he got the call for that one. This guy's well-rounded though, man. What is this? Oh, Islam Nardev is fighting. What? Oh, he's back in the UFC. Holy crap! I just saw that now, guys. So he beat this guy in Brave. Hold on there. Okay, beat the guy in Brave and bringing him back to fight Bruno. Okay, so he's back in the UFC now. Oh, cool. Okay. I mean, this guy's a pretty good fighter, man. I mean, I like Islam, man. I think he's a pretty good fighter. You know. Okay, so no, he's back now. All right. But from Vadym here, kind of fell off track a little bit. Vadym, like I said, he has a wrestling, takedowns are good, striking is good. Look like he can get a hurt on the foot though. I believe he's been knocked out one time, but that's the only loss he has by punches there. Hasn't fought since 2022 though. That's the only thing. And it was his win against Islam. So, but it's in December into 2023. So like a year or so. Yeah, man. A year and some change. I like what I said from Daniel, but I feel Vadym is just. Yeah, I just feel like he's just a better fighter. You know, you look at the age, is 33. You know, that may probably say, oh, you know. I'll still be careful with this though, man. You know, the reason why I still be careful because, like I said, with Daniel here, he's a dog. And he will lock down and come forward and bite down and start throwing. But I feel Vadym is just a skilled guy, man. You know, even though he took off a little bit here, but I feel like he should win this fight. I say Vadym by submission, first round, guys. But it's 50-50. You know, I'm not too confident in this one. I just feel Daniel. When I say from Daniel, and you know, he could catch Vadym with a punch. It's a puncher's chance from him. Very, very possible. So be careful with that one, guys. All right, but I feel Vadym should win though. All right, critical to odds. That was probably going to be high. I think from what I remember. Yeah, Vadym at -238. Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense in a kind of way, but still be careful with this fight though. All right. Next fight here, guys. We got Bailey Schoenfelder versus Daniel Vallejos. Damn, I think I pronounced that right. Bailey here, man. I like what I see from Bailey, man. Bailey was in the Bellator, and I watched a couple fights for him in the Bellator there. You know, So obviously the record is not the great, like most of the guys that come to the Contender Series, you know, like 0-0, you know, some people say can records. But I like what is from Bailey. Bailey has a wrestling base on him. Striking is up and down depending on who he's fighting, but his fundamental not bad, which is his base is wrestling. So if he gets into trouble with the strikes, he will go for a takedown, and he will usually get it, right? So the guy is well rounded, and with the wrestling, he has good cardio. He manage his energy level good, right? His opponent here, Danilo, I guess. Danilo coming from more of a karate, kind of like a K1 kind of vibe. So the guy's a karate stylist. What I see from this dude, though, man, a lot of his fights are against guys that are not that great, man. And yeah, it's it's like guys that are like I said, you may call them it's easy wins. You know, the guys are retreating, or the guys are giving up once you hit them with one punch, or they shell up and give up. You know, or he hits them one time and they fall. You know, just off the bell, ding, go, they fall down, right? So, but what I see from his striking, he look like he can have some kind of potential. You know, he mixes up the punches with the kicks, have a little more. He has a more washigiri head kick on him. You know, he flows with the hands, use the hands to set up the kicks. But you know, man, I just feel Bailey's a better fighter here, man. Bailey's a more well-rounded guy, and with Danilo, you know, because his fights him go so fast, you know, I don't know what his ground look like, you know what I mean? And most of his other fights are in is in a boxing ring, and it's more K1 kind of vibes, more of a Sancho, kind of like a Shotaken, a Koyokoshin kind of stylist kind of fight, where you fight with the gi bottom with the belts, which is pretty cool. You know, like I said, like K1, old school kind of vibe, which is good because I like that kind of fighting also. But like I said, you don't really see much of his ground. But he has potential with his striking if you put it together. You know, but I just feel if he connects to Bailey, you know, you would have to knock Bailey out, and I feel Bailey fight tough competition, man. Better organizations, tough competition, and Bailey's going to just resort to that takedown. And I believe he will get Danilo down, because I don't see no ground from Danilo at all. So I'm gonna go Bailey by KO in the first round, and it could be ground and pound, guys, in the first round. Bailey 70% and Danilo 30. All right. Odds you're gonna have Bailey at 660. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? That's all. Like, whatever I see, they see it too. You know what I mean? So, most confident fights in this card obviously is Bailey. I think Bailey should go through Danilo pretty easily. With just the more well-roundedness and experience. Less confident is Alexia and Rose. I'm not confident in that fight at all, man. I'm not confident at all. Even though I have Alexia winning and she's underdog, but I'm still not confident. Second confident is Kevin. And third would be Vadym. Would be my third kind of confident in a kind of sense. And my second least confident is Francesco and Kevin. So the two fights that I'm not too confident in, just make it easier, is it's Francisco and Alexia. Those two fights, I'm not confident in it. And those are the underdogs. Those ones I pick as underdog. So I have Francisco plus 124 and Alexia plus 114. And the other ones are just favorites that I feel should win. My third one that's a confident, but I'm like not too sure, is a Vadym versus Daniel. So the super confident ones is Bailey and Kevin. Those two, nothing guaranteed, guys, but just off of breaking down and stats and stuff, I feel those two should win. With Vadym, Vadym is like kind of, because he hasn't been fighting for a little bit, and and his opponent Daniel, guy can come forward, the guy throws heavy, and he has potential. So that one could be an upset, but it's not a guarantee, because a guy like Vadym is a good prospect, and the guy is pretty good. The guy is skilled, man, so he should win, right? And that's about it right there, man. Yeah. So just play at your own risk there, guys, and whatever happens, you know. So that's it right there. That's my predictions breakdown and odd breakdowns there for you guys. You guys keep on kicking. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, leave the comments down below. Also leave your picks down below and let me know why you're picking those guys to win. And that's it right there, guys. Keep on kicking. Os.